Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Playbook Diaries podcast. I am your host, Jardin, and today I'm joined by a very special guest, my homeboy, Jamal. Jamal, how are you?
I'm doing good. I've been trying to get on, but Jordan's a very, very busy woman and she doesn't always have time for us small folk. But I twisted her arm. Now I'm here.
I'm crying. Stop. I always have time for the people that went through like the mud and were there from the beginning. But are you ready to talk college football? I know you have a lot to say.
I'm always ready, and it's been a rough weekend, but I just want everyone to say 4 words with me. 4 words with me.
What's the 4 words?
Jamal, you were right.
About what?
Arch Manning. For those of you who have never seen me or heard of me, I tweet a lot, whatever. I have not been sold on Arch Manning since he was a senior in high school. Ever since he was his biggest, best thing since sliced bread. I saw the competition he was playing at his private school in New Orleans. It looked like he was playing against children. It didn't look real. I may be a little biased. As some of you may not know, me and Jordan went to high school together. So we are both alumni of Texas high school football, of just seeing what goes on and seeing the competition level.
Just
I
like the
play.
highest levels of high school performance. And not only were we in Texas, we were in DFW with complete powerhouses: Carter High School, Dallas Skyline, freaking
If you want to go,
Odessa Permian, like Odessa, and then you got DeSoto, Duncanville, like now North Crowley's on the rise. Just like complete football dominance where they could probably go to any state and win a state championship easily. And you have all these people that are in one division.
the 6A crown is not an easy one to take.
Mm,
And seeing that, I was just never sold on him. I get it. He's a Manning. He's this and that. Nepotism is a thing. I'm not calling him a Nepo baby. I'm just saying, Jordan, you're an OU fan.
mm.
And, I don't tend to like your kind. But I think both of us can agree OU is the cream of crop of when it comes to talent. Texas is the cream of the crop when it comes to talent. If you are not ready to step on that field, I don't care if you're a freshman, senior, junior, whatever, you don't need to be on that field just because of your name. And that's, as of Saturday, his performance against Ohio State, that's what it feels like. There's next to no positives that I can take from that game on the offensive side of the ball.
Okay. So that's, it wasn't a complete blowout. I think that Ohio State and Texas will definitely see each other like sometime down the line.
Mhm.
Um, when we get to the playoffs, especially with them both being in different, like not different brackets, but in different conferences. You got Big Ten and then you got SEC. So it is very likely that we see both of them again further into the season. But what's your take on the other games that happened this week? Alabama
Al-
losing to Florida State is absolute bananas.
well, Alabama is going through coaching withdrawal. And all this is just being the Alabama prior to Nick Saban and Alabama in years where they just didn't win national championships. We're so recency biased that we forget before the Nick Saban era, Alabama was not good.
Okay.
Even for their first national championship, nobody was expecting Alabama to beat Tim Tebow in Florida in that SEC championship to go ahead and beat Texas.
Hmm.
Not a single soul outside of the state of Alabama thought that was going to happen. Alabama's just going through a withdrawal of, hey, I lost my Hall of Fame coach, my greatest coach of all time. Um, I'm still kind of in quarterback limbo since their quarterback from last year has got drafted. Even he was inconsistent.
Hmm.
Um, Before then, you had Tua and Jalen Hurts and things like that. But before them, we forget Bama's offense was never truly that dynamic. It was run, play action, throw it deep to whatever monster receiver we have that year. Julio, Calvin Ridley or whatever it happened to be that year. It feels like Brian DeBoer, which is DeBoer, I think I'm saying that right, who came from Washington after their great season to become Alabama's head coach. It feels like he's trying to bring that in without the personnel to do that.
Well, so I mean, my thing is like when coaching changes happen, because a coaching change is a big change, and so when stuff like that happens, I like things just simply need time.
Mhm.
Changes and transition take time, so it's like when you have a major transition like a coaching change or like a QB change, like big transitions like that, you have to give the new coach, I always say, at least 4 years to get all the recruits that they want in and really set the tone of that program. Like if you want to change not necessarily change the program, but if you want to like let that coach run the program a certain way and breed like championships, you have to give him time to like it wasn't. I think people have unrealistic expectations of him to come from Washington and then go to Bama and immediately just start winning because it was Bama. It's like no, he still needs like 3 to 5 years minimum to be able to like get all his recruits in there and make the team mesh well. Like you can have all the 5-star recruits on one team, but not everybody plays well together. Like not
Mhm.
everybody's playing style meshes well together. So you got to make sure like the puzzle pieces fit. And right now, Alabama's in a position of transition where they're still trying to make puzzle pieces fit. They're taking people out, moving people in. Still, they're still in the discovery phase, and it's like. We just really have to give him time. It's unrealistic to expect him to take over Nick Saban's Alabama because that's what it is. Nick Saban's Alabama and immediately start winning.
And that, my good friend, is what you call thinking logically. That makes too much sense. But in college football, at these major blue blood programs, you don't get patience.
Yeah.
That's not what happens. I I said this because I hate Harbaugh, the former coach at Michigan, who is a coach of mine now, LA Chargers. I can't stand Harbaugh. One of the
Mhm.
reasons I can't stand him because I don't know how he got 10 years on the job. Jordan, as an OU fan, your coach lose to Texas 3 times in a row. What's going to happen to him?
Well, they're definitely going to talk about firing him. Like,
There, unless those years are national championship years, after that second loss to Texas, they're gonna say you got one more or you gone. No ifs, ands, or but. Harbaugh
well,
lost 7 out of 10. He just won the last three, and we all want to forget. The same thing is going to happen in Alabama, where, well, I'm sorry, not the same thing is going to happen in Alabama because you don't get that kind of patience at a school like that.
yeah,
You get 4 years, and if they don't see consistent, better progress, they're gonna get you out of there. Expectations at a school like Alabama are every year I need to be somewhat competing for an SEC championship. Every other year, I need to be competing for a national championship. And that's different from a school than, say, Arkansas. That's different from a school like Florida at this point, where
yeah,
they're happy to have an 8-4 season is a blessing for them. If they
yeah,
get to 9-2, hey, it's time to celebrate. 9-2 at Bama, but you lose the SEC championship means nothing to them.
yeah. You're right. That's a good point that you make. Yeah, I mean, like different programs have different expectations. Like just different companies have different expectations of what success looks like. So it's not accurate. It's not comparing oranges to oranges when you compare Bama to really most other programs.
Except maybe 5 other programs in the country.
Okay, well, go back to let's talk about the other games of Saturday because there were a couple upsets. So we had like Tech Texas wasn't Texas Ohio State wasn't technically an upset because Ohio State was projected to win. I think primarily because they had the home field advantage. Like we all knew it was going to be a close game, and it was. If the game would have been played at Texas, maybe a different outcome. But It wasn't a blowout, but it was boring as hell. But also, you have Bama losing to Florida State, which was absolutely wild. I don't even remember what the over under was on that and like what the predictions were for that. But I definitely don't think that Florida State was predicted or projected to win. Who won the
LSU,
Clemson Notre Dame game last
Clemson.
night?
It was Clemson LSU, and LSU did pull it off. They were the winners of the
Oh,
bet.
wait. You said okay, Clemson LSU and who won?
Clemson won that. If you're talking about Miami Notre Dame, Miami did
Miami
beat
Notre
Notre Dame.
Dame. Who won that
But
one last night?
Miami did pull that off. I'm also here to tell you I'm anti Notre Dame always and forever. It's never Notre Dame. I don't. If Notre Dame has 1,000 haters, I'm one of them. If they got 100 haters, I'm one of them. If they got one hater, it's me. If they don't have no haters, it's because I ain't here no more.
I just think that like my beef with Notre Dame is like they're just greedy. It's like y'all motherfuckers is greedy. Like join a conference and shut up.
It'd be different if Notre Dame had spent the last decade being Alabama. If they were dominant and doing this and doing that, I'd be all here for like I don't like you, but you winning, so I'ma shut up. Notre Dame, you've done nothing. You've done nothing, and I hate that you just now have your black coach, and I have to hate him too. But yes, join a conference. Stop acting like you better than everybody. Cause you not. You're in Indiana. Join the Big Ten, quit your bitching, and play a normal schedule. Every
Yeah.
other program you have, I believe, is in the ACC. Your women's basketball team win stuff. Act like them. Shout out to Skylar Diggins.
What was I gonna say? What games do we have projected? Like what big games do we have this upcoming week to look forward to?
Let's give that a look. I think SMU Baylor will definitely be a big one. SMU is definitely projected to win that one as they're the 16th ranked team in the nation. But Baylor is always a sneaky team in this Big 12 race. So do not be surprised. They always have offensive firepower. Let's see. Ohio State will be taking on Gremlin. Do we think they're gonna win that? No. But hey, Graham fam, put up a fight. That's all I ask. Don't get 60 put on you.
Uh,
Another good one, I believe, will be Oregon against Oklahoma State. I
that's
am
next week.
next week on the
Oregon on
6th.
dog walk Oklahoma State.
Look, I'm trying to have faith in Oklahoma State. As a former member of the Big 12, they're the biggest brand there. I want them to succeed. This is their conference now.
I don't know. I think Tech is about to take over the Big 12.
Until you can convince me they can play defense, I refuse to believe that.
They got some big name recruits coming in. I mean, they're doing great in the recruitment of class of 2026. They got the money, they put their money where their mouth is. They got that new general manager and he's about spending the money to get top talent. I fuck with it very heavily. So I'm like,
And,
okay.
and, and you know who's one of the assistant coaches at Texas Tech, right?
Good old Kenny Perry.
Good old Kenny Perry. Um, that was my high school coach, in case y'all don't know. Kenny Perry and their head coach, Joey McGuire, is a Texas high school football legend at the
Yes.
legendary Cedar Hill High School with the Longhorns. Um, you're right. Texas Tech has put their money where their mouth is. They have a brand new Adidas deal. Thanks to Patrick Mahomes. They are getting kids to go to Lubbock, Texas.
Yeah.
If you've never seen what Lubbock, Texas looks like, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
But if they're willing to shell out the money, which let's be real about the game of college football, college sports in general now, money talks, that other shit walk. Don't
Yeah.
nothing else matter.
Okay. So let's get into that real quick. Like the whole NIL thing. What's your take on NIL? Do you like it? Do you love it? What's your thoughts generally speaking on NIL? I have some thoughts, but I'll get yours
Mm.
first.
For one, I'm upset that it happened a year too late for me. I just wanted my little bit of chunk of change, but whatever. I love the NIL because the kids deserve to be paid. I will say we didn't think it all the way through, and we didn't give it any kind of structure, because this is
No structure. There's absolutely no structure in NIL, and it's like, yeah, what's happening? Um,
everything became the wild wild west.
it
Yeah.
was the Wild Wild West, like just very like little to no like regulation and like really not enough rules regarding the NIL. You know how that all came about. Um, it's like you said, it's a money game,
Hmm.
and everybody wants their hand in every bucket. So it's another opportunity for like agents to get a piece of stuff, and then but like now you parents should be letting like getting their children financial advisors. It's like you can't go from, being impoverished to being like, oh yeah, I just signed a, $8 million deal because I'm the quarterback at this school, and you go from like being living under the poverty level to being a millionaire
We
in a
s-
year, and make smart decisions and just be smart about it. The average person has little, very, very little financial literacy.
Me.
So then
I,
you give the average person millions of dollars, it's not going to go well. And that's just like with the handling of money. But we all know that more money, more problems. So
mm,
it'll
of
spill into on the field issues.
Of course, it's more money, more problems. We see it
Mhm.
in every other sport. The NCAA college football. We just hadn't gotten there yet until now. We see it most of the time in the NBA for the simple fact their early draft picks, their top guys making money. We forget they're 19 years old. They're
Yeah.
20 years old. Of course, they're gonna do something stupid with their money. If you gave me
Mhm.
$1 million at 20 years old, I'd go blow it on the dumbest thing I can think of.
Yeah.
But but because the NCAA spent so long fighting against decency, fighting against paying somebody and making them an indentured servant, fighting against just keeping their pimp status in that building they got in Indy, now don't no one got anything of what they want to say, because it could have been so simple. And I think the answer to all of this is every level gets a salary cap. It could, I think it could be that simple. Of every power 4 school, you get X amount that you as the school can provide. If they go get, a car dealership deal or a deal with
Yeah.
McDonald's or whatever, that's cool. But every major conference, Big 12, SEC, Pac 12, if you want to still consider it Pac 12, whatever, Big 10 or whatever, they all get X amount, and that's it. Now, the lower levels, we could talk about them getting their own salary cap, but the difference between the money, say, Alabama can provide is very different than the money Syracuse can provide. That's why we say cap it, and then we could be done. But since the
So
NCAA
so at
wanted to be
least so
greedy,
you're saying like level the playing field a little bit.
that's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
Even now, I remember last year or 2 years ago, a few of the SEC schools were complaining about Texas joining, and the way they can inappropriately, or they have the advantage in NIL because of their location. I'm like, did no one tell you to put a university in Starksville, Mississippi? Didn't no one tell you to be in Gainesville, Florida? You could have been in Tallahassee. You could have been in Miami. You chose to
Yeah.
put that there. So, in a sense, yes, as we know, Texas money never ends. Texas has
Yeah.
more money than probably every program except maybe two or three, regardless if they're good or bad. It is to a degree unfair, but that's why we have the Wild Wild West. Y'all are the reason that there's no recommend I don't know what the word is. There's no regulation.
Yeah.
There's nowhere you can say you can do this, this, and this, and the courts don't want to listen to you either because you wanted to be pimps for the last 100 years.
Because they want to be pips.
That if you look at what the NCAA, their policies, they're just pimps whose HQ is one building in Indianapolis. We think they're
Mhm.
this super big entity.
Yeah,
No.
they're not. They're not.
So I don't care about you can't pimp the way you want to. Pimping ain't easy. And now you can't do it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what else we got on the docket? Anything else that we'd like me to cover coming up for this week? I do have a couple interviews coming out the following week for the listeners with some hometown heroes, some powerhouses out of Duncanville. Um, a one-on-one chat with them in their recruiting process and why they committed to the schools that they committed. But so that's something for everybody to look forward to. It was a pretty good interview. And then I'm trying to think what else is going on in the scope of sports. Has Shannon Sharpe signed with anybody else yet?
I don't believe he has signed with anyone else. I honestly think Shannon Sharp's days on TV are fully over. I I don't think I've heard anything about him. I do think his days on TV are over. I think he excuse me. I think he's best served doing his podcast with Ocho,
Yeah,
where they can be a little more raw, a little bit more unfiltered. At this point in his life, I
yeah,
hope he's not hoping for for hurting for money. He seems like a relatively smart, financially savvy guy over the years. So I think his line of talking and the experience he gained, go be a good podcast caster. That's fine. You're gonna people like you. You have a good personality. You're
yeah.
going to get the views. Just don't deal with the mouse anymore.
Don't do it to what?
The mouse. ABC, ESPN. Get away from the mouse.
Yeah. I mean, I think that like Shannon was doing it was too many inappropriate things that we can all agree were like this was unprofessional slat and or it was unprofessional and or inappropriate in some manner. And they all happened within close proximity of each other. And it was just like, bro, all right, this is too much. Like nobody else can get away with this stuff at work. You're also not going to
Give
get
us
away with
time.
that at work.
Give the people time to forget.
Yeah.
Don't don't fuck up once a year. We don't forget stuff like that.
Well, I don't even think it was like him, like having sex and it being on Instagram Live. That was all in 365 days of each other. And
Nobody
then the
opens Instagram
lawsuit
Live on
was
accident.
like, huh?
Nobody opens Instagram Live on accident.
It's a lot of steps that you have to go through to do that.
I, I can understand FaceTiming someone on accident. I can understand calling someone on accident. You don't Instagram Live. Oh, my phone barely opens Instagram on accident, let alone hits live and yes, yes, continue, yes.
Yeah. I remember at the time that it came out, I went through the steps and I was like, this is a lot of steps to accidentally get somewhere. I'm like, he must have had Instagram open already and maybe like been on like the story feature or something. And because, I'll pick up my phone and it'll be on a story and I'm like, what is this? But like live, it does say, do you want to go live? Do you have a stable connection? Okay, go.
Just
I
don't.
was like, this is a lot, but no, I guess we'll wrap it up there. We won't keep you guys too long. We got a nice little like 20-minute episode. Like I said, you guys look out for next week's episode. Jamal, thank you for joining us like super last minute. It was a great talk and I would actually love to have you on again.
Hey, I'm down whenever you down because I'm a man of the people. And if you think I don't have more euphemisms like calling the NCAA pimps, you are wrong. I have to.
All right. Thanks, Jamal. All right. I'm Jardin with the Playbook Diaries, and this is Jamal, and we are signing out. Bye.
Peace.